it's just so unbearably hot outside. So I think we're going to move our operation indoors, at least for the time being. So we're going to work on the Camaro a little bit today. I think we'll see if we can't get our starter to bolt up, and we're going to have to do a little bit of wiring help to get the one that we have to work. The way the factory starter is set up, it has a hot wire that runs to the starter, and it's got like a little hoop on it, like a little female connector where you can thread it over the male connector with a bolt. This aftermarket high torque mini starter I bought has a spade connector on it, so we're going to have to do some cutting and soldering on the wiring to fix that issue. And I don't really know if my bolts that I have are going to work. So we'll see. I guess let's get under here and get to looking and see what we got going on. I have the starter just mocked up in its spot, which is kind of strange because well, I guess not really, but the factory bolt that held the starter in, which is this factory bolt, the long factory bolt, is a little bit too long to mount this starter in place. As you can see, by 1/2 inch too long. So we'll have to get a bolt to replace that one. I had one that I bought to have as an extra because I knew that the mounting flange on this starter was thick all the way across. On the factory starter, they're thick on one side and about half the size on the other, so you got a long bolt and a short bolt. Not the case here. So I went ahead and picked up a bolt just to make sure it would fit. Oh, and it fits great. Locks all the way up in there, tightens up. The only problem we need is we need to get a couple of just a lock washer to make sure it's going to stay in its place. And we need to replace this bolt. So other than that, it looks like it should engage no problem with where it's at. It's kind of hard to really get in there and see, but I can see it from my perspective. So I know it's kind of hard for you to get in there and get a glimpse of anything, but the long tubes are great in the aspect of you got a whole lot more room to get your starter out. The factory exhaust kind of runs up through here, and it's just a mess. So we're not going to obviously have that problem anymore. But we're going to go ahead and unbolt the starter, take it down, and set it to the side so we can go ahead and see what we need to do to get the wiring out of the way and work for the starter. And then we got to push that ground wire back up in here too. A ground in here, and I think that ground is going to go onto a stud. I can't remember. This goes like this. Alright, that would probably make sense to do that. Then where does this ground go? You wouldn't think it would go there, that's for sure. So not gonna go on the oil pan ground or that stud, that's for sure. So yeah, I think we're gonna have to. We got that stud there, but I'm not for sure where we're going after that. Well, let's just do this. Let's go ahead and get this nut off of the stud, screw this stud into the block, and then we can reattach this. So that's one less thing we got to worry about. After we reattach that, let's look to maybe going out and checking out our Firebird and seeing where these grounds and everything go. I mean, I guess it could ground there as well. So, alright, let me get some tools and slide on out of here. And I'll come back when I got what I need. Which I don't think the threads are bad enough to where it won't go in. Then we can put our new female connector back on and cap this sucker off. So, is this an 11 too? No, I figured it was about 10. So let's at least get back under here and make some sort of progress. Make me feel better about myself. As far as I'm aware. Oh, I know something else we can get done while we're under here. Heck yeah. Let's see. So, this one is going to screw in right here. Now, put this all the way in our block. Now, in case somebody missed the earlier video where I explained what was going on here. Yes, my block is orange, red, orange. What's the difference? Right there. You see it? Alright. Stud. Bam! So now we got to go back and right here install us a hoop connector or whatever exactly they're called and reinstall that up there. Then we're going to need a spade connector, female spade connector for this one. So I just need to get a box with a little heavier gauge, or for a little heavier gauge wiring, and get a bolt to install our starter, and then we're in business. Before we put this starter in, I think we need to fill a hole. If you come up here in the side of the head, there's a hole. It's threaded, but it's there for if the coolant temperature sensor that screws into the head on the driver's side So if you move this head over to the other side and turned it, the hole is there for that sensor. So anyway, we need to plug it because obviously so here's our plug. What we're gonna do is I brought with me some Permatex thread sealer. Now I'm just gonna take, oh man, I'm just gonna take some of this Permatex real quick. Yeah. Coat our threads real lightly. It's kind of like some liquid Teflon tape here. Okay. All right. Let's see what we got. So,
Seriously?
that's so funny.
You look like the Wicked Witch of the West underneath her house.
Ha, ha, ha. You're hilarious. And it looks like our bolt here may be just a tad bit too long. Which, the problem with that is the thread stop. So that may be where our problem's coming from there. But that's okay. I have some short hardware there. I think this is for the O2 sensor, if I'm not mistaken. This one, of course, is going to hook on top. I don't know what goes here still. I'm sure we'll figure it out. Does anybody know? Maybe post down below if you know what this hooks into. All we need to do is put the ground cable on. I think the starter should be ready. But my question is, we gotta figure those bolts out too. How in the heck am I gonna get up in there to do that? I think it looks like we shouldn't have any problems, but and who knows? It looks like it should engage just fine. Yeah, this would be close. Any way you want to look at it. So let's come around the top side and have a look down, and maybe we can get that nut to hold that cable on. Maybe keep it away from header tube while we're at it. That'd be freaking fantastic. One less thing I got to worry about melting. So let's go up top and take a look. Well, we're on the top side now, and what we're trying to do, you really can't see what I got going on down here, but trust me when I say the starter is down there. We have to get a nut onto a stud to torque the cable down, and man, it ain't gonna be pleasant. So it's kind of hard to see down in there, but what I think we're gonna do is get awful creative. So Anyway. Top, coming from the top is going to be better because I did not see what area I had to work with from the bottom. Now that I'm at the top, I see that I'm going to have more room to work from the bottom, so let's go back underneath the car, see what we can come up with down there. In front of the starter, come up through here and then hit that nut on the other side. Like I said, there's no way I could have seen what I had to work with until I got up top. And if I had another person, oh, it would be gravy because I would just be able to look in and see what's going on, and the other person could put it on the bolt or the nut for me, and life would be grand. But no, I don't live in that world. I think we got plenty of room to get away from the header tube down here. I don't think that's going to be any problem. I think the problem is going to come from where the header tube rubs up top. So we've made some progress, and we still have to make a lot more. So I guess first things first, we need to figure out if that all goes there. I know something goes on that stud on the front of the oil pan up there, but I just don't think it's gonna be the ground. But then again, what do I know? We'll figure it out. Let's slide out of. Well, there's one more thing we can do while we're under here that I just keep forgetting. So let's just take a look. We've got this brace that attaches. Yeah, I know my car's awful oily on the bottom, but a lot of that came from that leaking rear main seal. And now that rear main seal is not going to be leaking anymore, eventually we'll get all this oil out of here. But hey, look at it. Look at it like this. I think all the oil is just keeping it from rusting. So, positivity there. There's a bar or a brace that attaches from here and runs over to here. And at least I did a smart thing with that one, and I left the bolts in the appropriate holes so I wouldn't lose them. I didn't figure that out with the rest of the car, though. So, let's... emergency brake cable. So I got it sitting over here. let's do a little bit of wrapping things up. We reinstalled this brace, which it may be upside down, it may be backwards.
Hey,
What?
food's done.
Okay.
Get in here.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to get in there. What if I'm out here working? What if I'm having fun, doing what I want to do? Nah, just kidding. I'm going to go in. Got the starter installed. Got some of the wiring figured out. And I'm hoping that we can figure out which way those ground cables go on there. And hopefully not have too hard of a time trying to fix them. Have a great night.